Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Well, let me do a few more messages because I have some 11 minutes more to go on the show. Solo.
So now we are talking about the new patriotic party.
Yes.
Next week, the new patriotic party will go and elect their flag bearer with the hope of leaving the country come 2025. One thing remains a fact that on the 7th of January 2025, there will be a new leader at the Jubilee House. The question that still lingers in the minds of most Ghanaians is whether to go back to the non-performing former President John Mahama, whom Ghanaians rejected emphatically in 2016, or to continue with this busy for nothing NPP that will be led by Bawumia, because definitely he will win, or to look at what is happening in the Tongo areas, in Pando, in Sege, in Ada, and the sweat of the teeming youth who are unable to find jobs and vote for a credible leader. So it's a very, very important exercise. I do not want to go back to why the NPP is where it is today, because it's a known fact that some cabal who feels uncomfortable with the right leadership decided to twist arms, and so doing everything possible to make a particular candidate lead the party. I mean, what is going to happen next week is a charade. I would be very, very surprised to see Dr. Bawumia get less than 80%. I would be very surprised. Indeed, if he gets less than 80%, that would be a defeat to him. Because right from the album, you know, the album is the basis of this election. First of all the other contenders will not have a credible album to deal with. As we speak this morning, there are more than 4 albums that will be at play, and those that would be those that are known to be supporting other candidates on the day of election, I can assure you that they will not find their names in the album. So it's an exercise in futility. It's a waste of everybody's time, but we have to discuss it. Now, what makes it even worse is that if you listen to those that are supposed to be the front runners, and I can't even imagine, now I'm not with the NPP, I'm with the Movement for Change, but I cannot imagine in my life that a time will come that a party called the New Patriotic Party, the front runners will be Dr. Bawumia and Kennedy Ejapon. I can't imagine. Because if for nothing at all, in 1996, I saw people run over by an articulated truck in Bekwai because of the New Patriotic Party. Because they believed in the ideals and principles of the party and felt that that party was the only party that could take this country to the promised land. And for the party to degenerate to such a level where you have Dr. Bawumia and Kennedy Ejapon as people that the party supporters are banging their hopes on, I think those that are dead will be crying or turning in their graves. When you listen to the vice president, what has been his campaign message? First of all, he says he's a northerner, like Mr. Pratt said, so we should vote for him. He is a Muslim, and that he is going to bring Muslims and Christians together, as though Muslims and Christians are already fighting. And finally, he is a young man. I never knew when he was 60 years. And he does so by wearing polo shirts like what I'm doing and be playing ball. I would not even call myself a young man because I'm in my 40s. So why would a 60-year-old man call himself a young man? Then he brings in a slogan that he calls it is possible. So to the voters in the New Patriotic Party, and for that matter Ghana, this is the plan that, or the vision that Dr. Bawumia has for the entire country. That vote for him because he's from the northern region, and I say coming from the northern region, the moment he becomes the president of the land, all your problems are solved. I know, I'm not too sure whether John Mahama is not from the northern region, or whether they are proper northerners and fake northerners. In any case, I did a bit of geography. When we say northern region, where is northern region? Because if you are in Greater Accra, do you know that from Nkoko going or up to Ashanti region becomes your northern region? If you are in the Ashanti region, from the Bono East and so on becomes your northern region. So how can we reduce politics to that extent? Now it has turned into insults with the vice president's wife entering the fray. I think she needs the husband to be president more than anyone. So she has now taken over the campaign and throwing salvos. The last time what I heard her say got me scared. And she said, oh, some others are satisfied. They have gotten enough. And so they want the party to be in opposition. If you were in a serious country, the second lady should be invited to tell us as Ghanaians, what have they gotten enough? Have they stolen enough? Because it is my tax revenue. So if the second lady of the land is saying some have gotten more, then we need to interrogate and investigate to know what people have gotten. Now, I am beginning to hear the delegates also speak that in the super delegates elections, to their understanding, the constituency chairman and then all those that form the special delegates, they got in excess of 1 billion OCDs or 100,000 Ghana cedis. And to them, their votes, they all have the same votes. So if you gave a constituency chairman 100,000, they also expect the same 100,000. So that we have moved beyond analyzing candidates on their own merit to who is the biggest donor or payer. The question you ask yourself is, what sort of business are these frontliners or front runners doing that will give them that capacity to be able to dish out monies in this magnitude? What it means is that it's going to come from the state. And when it is coming from the state, is it not you and I taxes that is going to suffer? I do not believe that this country would have to be shortchanged like that. And the president is also not helping matters. Only a couple of days ago, I saw some students from the Association International visit the Jubilee House. I don't know whether they gave the questions to the kids, because the questions that the kids were asking, from where I was sitting, I believed they would have been prompted to ask. But if it came from the kids, I'm very happy. One of them asked the president, why did he select the vice president as his running mate? And the answer he gave is so beautiful. Was very, very beautiful. Said the vice president is so truthful, very intelligent, so smart, and that together with the vice president, they have done so much. Is the vice president truthful? Why is it that the vice president has stopped talking about the economy? Why has he stopped organizing lectures? And I'm very surprised that journalists in this country are not moving to his house. Every morning you must be in front of his house and ask him, when are you going to hold the next lecture in this country? about inflation, the correlationship.
Economic lectures.
Economic lectures. The relationship between interest rate and inflation and exchange rate. We had all these here. Why is he now talking about digitalization as though digitalization or whatever is any phenomena? Does he know when these young boys started doing Yahoo Yahoo in this country? Do you know Yahoo Yahoo? You are not in the ghetto, so you don't know Yahoo Yahoo. When young men started doing Yahoo Yahoo in our ghettos, why was Dr. Bawumia to be talking to us about digitalization? And what policy is that? Why is it that at the moment we are not being served with what they can do to solve the huge unemployment situation we have? And like I made reference to, the number of people that wants to leave the shores of this country. A particular university opened its portal for spring or so admission in Canada. Within a space of 30 minutes, they had to shut it down because Nigerians and Ghanaians are taking over the place and they are all trying to leave the country. And you are going around saying you are doing what campaign? So the president got it wrong. That indeed he gave us a vice president. And he also added that he selected him because he needed to break the gap between the north and south, bring us together. And I asked myself, Mr. President, before you became president, were Muslims and Christians fighting? We have never fought. And why would we fight? For which land? We don't do that. We go to boarding schools, sleep together. So this attempt to try and create a different narrative would not wash any given day. So, Senator, it's a sad moment, but the good people of this country must be thankful to Mr. Alan Kyerematen. They must be extremely thankful to him. You know why? If he had not decided to go as an independent candidate, I'm telling you, election 2024 would have been one of the ordinary elections. Ghanaians wouldn't take part. Are you going to vote for John Mahama, who for 4 years kept us in darkness, in the dark?
Please don't go there.
Now, Honorable, I'll be charitable, you know, because a lady just tested me.
And now your excess capacity.
A lady by name Harat in Tamale said she greets you. She says John Mahama is an experienced person, so we must give this country back to him. Experience? Do you know Bukazis? You know Bukazis? If you do not know, he was a coach of the Blasters. You know, Bukazis qualified us to Senegal 1992. So by virtue of that, Ghanaians felt he had experience. And so somewhere in 2002, 2003, Ghanaians remembered his work and brought Bukazis back to coach the Black Stars. When he came, our first match, we received 6-0. Our second match, 4-0. Our third match, 5-0. We did not know how he ran away from this country. You are talking about experience in this country?
Yes.
Who learns how to be president whilst in opposition? So that is why I'm saying that we must be thankful to Mr. Alan Kyerematen, because as we speak, he remains the only person that has given you what we call the Great Transformational Plan.
Okay.
A plan that re-emphasizes agriculture without benefit to your constituency. Pando, I've been to Pando in this environment. You have a beautiful land that when harnessed and harnessed properly, when there is leadership, Honorable, I'm telling you, you will not suffer. They will not worry you with jobs. And that is what Alan is promising you. He's not just promising you agriculture. If we are going to stretch the argument that you was part of the new patriotic party, then I would stretch the argument to also include you that having been a member of parliament, you are those responsible for approving all these bogus ministers who cannot perform. So if you go and approve a minister who is not performing, you that did approve, you are also not performing. You see where we are going? That is why you dare not touch Alan
For
Kyerematen.
you.
So,
You hold your peace, I hold my peace.
so
And the butterfly will fly forever. So that is the situation you find yourself. Nothing is going to happen, and the new patriotic party will settle on Dr. Bawumia. And I'm very happy they are going to settle on him, because in election 2024, you have John Mahama, Dr. Bawumia, Alan Kyerematen, Hassan Ayerega. We will go and vote and see who will win in this country.
McDougall says the people of Volta should learn a big lesson from the NPP and their heartless leader, President Kufuor. The president has nothing to offer the country and is not a loan for the spillage victims. 2024 election is just around the corner, and well-meaning members of the Volta region should take upon themselves a duty to campaign for change in government. And then there's also this one, George from Dansuman says, like, seriously, this NPP Akufo and Bawumia-led government is very wicked. How can a pensioner investment be taken by force for a period of 5 years? What if the pensioner died before the 5 years? Some of them have even died. Is the finance minister thinking well? Sana, please. Okay, George, I've read your message. Honorable.
Thank you very much. In fact, I wanted to follow Professor Mills's advice that Diwufiasem, NPP presidential primaries, is not on the table for me. I don't have a candidate there. I have a candidate already. My candidate is John Dramani Mahama. My friend Solomon, very good orator, powerful speeches, but the fact still remains. Alan cannot solve the problems of Ghana. Whatever way he puts it, he says a butterfly, he'll be squashed very easily. He's now learning to fly. He doesn't have the solutions. That's a fact. He was part of the government until they showed him another side. That's when he moved out. For me, the number of people who call me, I said yesterday, people came to me. We are not NDC, but we are all looking up to you, because we know you are the only one who can take us out of this mess. Experience in football and experience in government are two different things entirely. Here is somebody who managed the country very well. You talk about Dumso, you don't talk about the preceding, what led to it. No, that was under President Kufuor. You don't talk about that. You just talk about the end results that President Mahama and the NDC administration inherited, and he made sure it was solved before we left office. That's the fact. Now here is somebody who has experience. He's done many things that we can look up and say, no, he did this, he did this. What's the NPP doing? They are finishing off JM's programs and projects and claiming ownership of them. That's what they are doing. Nothing else. This is somebody who has the experience. He has seen what Ghana has been through. The lies the NPP told against him to come to power, we all know it now. The things they said, he can't do this, he did this, now everybody knows it's a lie. Even some of your candidates have admitted that some of the things they said, they said it in jest. He gave 7 million to somebody, he was just joking. These are the kind of things that they created that sent out John Dramani Mahama from office. It's not that Ghanaians rejected him. The NPP government presented lies. They have been able to live up to any of those lies. The promises they gave, they failed. It's a complete failure that we all know. So please don't go there at all. The man, John Dramani Mahama, is experienced, and when he comes to power, you see the difference. Ghana, NPP has taken Ghana back, 30 years, so many years back. We need somebody with experience to quickly move us from the hole we are in. Many of your big men, your founding fathers have all said the same thing, that you've taken us 30 years back. We're in a hole. So seriously, we need to get out of the hole. We need somebody with experience to get out of the hole and get us out very quickly. I have my candidate. Why am I going to look for candidates in the NPP camp? I don't need it. Whoever they bring, if they bring Candidacy, if they bring Bawumia, Dr. Nimo, Dr. Akoto, Osei Akoto, is it his own? His own what?
Efri Akoto.
whether it's at Tofao, whatever it is. Me, I don't care. I have my own candidate. I know my candidate will perform, and I know together we'll move this country away out of this hole and on the path to progress. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you. Before I come to your comment, this is Patrick Akos, and I remember the 2008 presidential election runoff. Remember when Menchia and Bantama padded votes had been released. Nana was in the lead, but when the result of the 2 Ketu constituencies and the 3 Tong constituencies started coming in, the results was overturned. There was an attempt to manipulate the results, and so were pulled out of the GBC website. Remember, Remonacha, through Radio Gold, raised an alarm, and Afarijan returned to the strong room to put things right. So Nana was so bitter that he wanted to go to court on a Sunday to get a declaration of the result withheld. To pay the parties involved, Radio Gold was closed down. Remonacha had his printing press pulled down, and the spillage of the Akosomodam is the payback to the people whose votes denied him of becoming a president in his youthful days. Well, this is Ambassador Sampiale, who says, and I think address to Solu again, says, ever since you left the NPP, you have liberated your conscience and thought. Now you speak as a true Ghanaian. That is Ambassador Sampiale. Ambassador of the NPP, you have liberated your conscience and thought. Now you speak as a true Ghanaian. That is Ambassador Sampiale.
How can this be true?
Please, Mr. Pratt.
Sorry. When I look at what is being paraded today as the NPP, I just wonder. Because I saw the NPP over which Darocha presided as chairperson. I saw the NPP over which Pitala Jete presided as chairperson. I saw that NPP over who is the first in the Ashanti region, Dr. Donkopojo presided. I saw the NPP led by Professor Albert Edubuahini and so on. What we see today is not that NPP. And I feel sad. I feel very, very sad at the level of degeneration in that party. It does appear that all the opinion polls are suggesting that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would end up as presidential candidate of that party. If he does, I wish them well. I finished, Senna.
That's it. That's quite interesting.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.